When I was 24, working as a teaching assistant at my alma mater, I met her. She was the girl of my dreams, gorgeous and smart and sweet and funny. She was one of those rare girls, no skeletons in her closet, no weird habits, was comfortable in her own body, and I fell for her, hard. She was a student in my class, and every Tuesday was just heaven because she even signed up for my lab time. I wanted to sing when I saw her come in for the first time. Her glossy black hair and neat ponytail. If she cared, she was of Asian descent. So I talked to her, got to know her, and started dating her at the end of the semester. All throughout spring we got closer, though we never slept together, and I knew by the time summer came that this girl was the girl I wanted to marry. So, because my mother raised me right, so I set it up that she'd come back home with me for a week to meet my family, assumed that we'd get to meet hers later in the summer. At the end of the week, my family loves her, thanks for asking. I mentioned meeting her parents. She paused for a moment and said, "Well, I guess, but my family's a little weird." I didn't think anything of it. She was probably worried about her culture clash. "Babe, you just spent a week with my crazy redneck family. I'm sure I can deal with yours." She shrugged, and that was that. She went back home for the rest of the summer, and we would meet at least once a week just to hang out. And near the end of July, I went to spend a week with her family. As I thought, she'd been over-exaggerating. Her mum was a really polite lady, with a habit of covering up her mouth when she smiled. Her grandma was one of those tiny little old Japanese ladies who didn't seem to speak English. Her sister was very shy around me and barely spoke, usually looking down or away from me. And her dad, as far as I could understand, was often out on business and I didn't meet him. We slept in separate bedrooms, well, because her mum was pretty strict about that, and this is where it gets weird. The first night, I heard a weird scuttling noise. There was no way to really describe it. So I got up and locked the door and turned the light off. Nothing in my room. I laughed it off and went back to sleep. When I asked them in the morning about it, her mother seemed discomforted by my question. She reluctantly told me that there was some rats in the attic and they didn't have enough money to get the exterminators. I laughed and let her know that I could deal with a few rats. For the next few days, we all went out to visit the local sites, and though my girlfriend looked concerned at times, all I did was laugh off any weirdness. Like when her grandmother creaked out something at the zoo at the kangaroos and I asked about it, she told me apparently her grandmother said they looked tasty. Or when her sister refused my offer of ice cream because she was lactose intolerant. Though my girlfriend had enjoyed desserts with me before, stuff like that seemed more or less the standard level of weird for cross-cultural relationships. Though, like the stewed fish with their heads still on, the scuttling about never stopped, and I guess I should have gotten used to it, though there was something still bothering me about it. I couldn't put my finger on it, so at the end of the week, I finally decided to sneak out and check up the attic. I'm no fool, as I brought a good flashlight, told my girlfriend, who frowned and told me that was a bad idea and she didn't want me to get bitten. And I found a nice sturdy stick in the backyard. I quietly pulled down the attic stairs and shined my light into the darkness. Nothing. So I climbed up and took a look around. It was weird. There really wasn't much stuff in the attic, just some boxes with whatever labels it was. Christmas decorations, stuffed animals, etc. But in the corner there was a small cot. I knew right then that I should have left well enough alone, but I had already gotten this far, so I moved towards it. There was no one in it, just a blanket and a pillow. And when I was a few feet away from it, I felt something bite my ankle. I swept my flashlight around, panicking, and I saw a fleeting shadow at the edge of my beam. My mother didn't raise any idiots, so I got out of there right then. I hobbled down the stairs as fast as I could and down to the hallway to my room and closed the door. My mother didn't raise any idiots, so I got out of there right then. I hobbled down the stairs as fast as I could, down the hallway to my room and closed the door. My ankle hurt like hell and was swollen. Whatever it was, I wasn't about to wake up everyone because I'd been poking around in their stuff, so I figured I'd try to sleep it off. The scuttling. I woke in the dark, my leg was on fire, the pillow was damp from my sweat, I felt sick. I turned the lights on. There she was. She was a middle-aged lady, naked and unkempt, with long tangled black hair. She was thin to the point of being skeletal, with a strangely round abdomen, kind of like what you see on starving people, with a thick red welt in the middle. It scared the living daylights out of me to see her there, but it scared me more when I could see her face, because she was smiling. Her eyes were dark, black from corner to corner, with no trace of pupil or white, and her mouth was unusually wide. Her teeth were missing, well, mostly. 2 close set of black fangs poked out of her gums. I screamed bloody murder and scrambled back at the headboard. She lifted her lips at the sound and raised her arms. I noticed with horror the grime crusted around her fingernails. I was going to die. She was going to cut my throat with those ugly talons, and I was going to bleed out, and then I was going to die. The door slammed open and my girlfriend grabbed the mysterious woman by the arm, speaking rapidly in a foreign language. Her mother came right behind her, and I couldn't believe it when they dragged the thing out of the room. I sat alone for a few minutes, sweating in pain and fear. Her little sister peeked around the corner, and when I didn't start screaming again, she came and sat down on the foot of my bed. We sat quietly and listened to the attic stairs slam upwards. She sighed and smiled in either hope or relief. It didn't matter, because I felt my heart stop in my chest, right in front of her bright white human teeth. There were two small, sharp, black fangs. I guess you met Auntie Lacey, huh?